Iwer and Oscar B. presents Breakfast Jam at Vibes Event Space, formerly Shade Nightclub, Sunday 27th October, 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. Featuring popular artiste and an all-star DJ cast. Early bird tickets $300. Breakfast inclusive. Tickets available on ticketfederation.com and cachet stores nationwide, or call 620-3057 or 684-4528. Breakfast Jam at Vibes Event Space.
We don't beat girl, but we beat from bad. We beat from bad.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
News from the street, 919fm.com. Here's what's happening.
Good afternoon, I'm Chinaka Phipps and this is the news on the Street 919 FM. In the headlines, 9 gangs are listed at the Pleasantville Secondary School. 11 women rescued, 3 arrested for human trafficking. Commitment to youth development from the government. Autopsies on mom and daughter has been released. Internationally, Hurricane Milton leaves more than 3 million people without power. On top of the news, an investigation has been launched where reports came in that 9 gangs were operating at the Pleasantville Secondary School, including 2 newly formed gangs by the name of Camo and Guava, bringing great concern to the PTA. A parent who asked to remain anonymous claimed her son and his friend, both in Form 1, have been attacked and threatened to be beaten after school by the Camo gang. Her great concerns and fright for her son as he lives close by and he walks home every day. On Thursday, 2 parents whose children were threatened met with the school principal, but there was no mention of what would be done about the gang rivalry. We want the police to get more involved. My son is already talking about bullying and how nothing happens until someone ends up dead, the worried parents added. Meanwhile, Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of the South and Central Division, Wayne Meister, said he will be meeting with the concerned parents on Saturday via Zoom meeting, following which he will visit the school on Monday to address students on gangs. Confirmation of the gang's existence came from the treasurer of the school's Parent-Teacher Association, Clarence Mendoza, saying students in Form 1 are being pressured, taxed and beaten if they refuse to join the gangs. He said the students face regular threats, leading some parents to take their children out of school for fear of their safety. In more news, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service successfully rescued 11 female Venezuelan nationals who were allegedly victims of human trafficking during an intelligence-led operation. The operations conducted on Tuesday, 8 October 2024, between 8:40 p.m. and 8:05 p.m. also led to the arrest of 3 suspects, 2 males and 1 female, believed to be connected to a human trafficking ring operating in the Cunupia area. After gathering intelligence on a suspected human trafficking operation and conducting intensive surveillance, a team of officers proceeded to a residence located at Ragunanan Road, Cunupia. During the operation, the officers found 11 persons who were allegedly being held against their will. The Central Divisional Task Force and the Counter-Trafficking Unit provided crucial assistance throughout the operation. Several items of evidential value were also seized at the scene to aid ongoing investigations. The 3 suspects arrested are now in police custody as further investigations continue. The Immigration Department was also contacted to assist with victims who are currently receiving support services. In further news, the Minister of Youth Development and National Service Foster comments during a contribution at the budget debate in Parliament on October 9th and addressing the opposition critiques, stated the work the government has done. In his contribution, he highlighted the completion of several projects, including ongoing work at the Port of Spain General Hospital Central Block, the Moruga Agro Processing and Light Industrial Park, the Customs and Excise Building in San Fernando, and the Ministry of Health in Port of Spain. He also spoke about restoration projects such as Red House and Mill Flows. He further claimed the community initiatives like the Moruga Multipurpose Youth and Sport Facility, several community swimming pools and Skinner Park, San Fernando, all of which, he said, reflect the government's commitment to providing essential infrastructure for country's development. In his impassioned speech, he said the efforts of his colleagues at the Ministry of Social Development and Family Services towards its new building at the corner of Trackwood Road and Victoria Avenue, the National Lottery Board office, and repurposing the Shagaramas Convention Center as a youth development facility. Comments reiterated his ministry's commitment to youth development, outlining collaborations with various other ministries to create opportunities for young people. Meanwhile, in news, an autopsy report has shown that a single chopper to the neck of 14-month-old baby Jada Mutilal and the resulting shock and massive hemorrhaging ended her life, and her mother Tara Ram Sarup died from multiple chop wounds. These reports were revealed on October 9th. The autopsies were done at the Forensic Science Center in St. James the day after mother and child were discovered dead in the home of a male relative in Parakpur. Ram Sarup's murder ended 6 harrowing years of abuse at the hands of the suspect, who remains in police custody. Her distraught sister, Jasodra Rajaram, advised abused women once they leave such a relationship not to look back. She said, "Stay away." She further made it clear and said her sister's violent end was the reality of such a relationship filled with violence and abuse. Head of the Southern Division, ACP Wayne Meister, said while the police make errors sometimes, in this case, interim restraining orders were served on the suspect in April, and police served a final protection order on him on October 6th. Meanwhile, he said the protection order was in effect. It was the victim, Ram Sarup, who breached the order by going to the man's home. However, the autopsies were completed and the report has been sent to the DPP's office, and investigators are awaiting guidance on laying charges. Police source said murder charges could be laid against the suspect today. And internationally, Hurricane Milton barreled into the Atlantic Ocean on Thursday after plowing across Florida as a Category 3 storm, pounding cities with ferocious winds and rain, whipping up a barrage of tornadoes and causing an unknown number of deaths. In the compounded the misery wrought by Helen, while sparing Tampa a direct hit. The storm tracked to the south in the final hours and made landfall Wednesday night in Siesta Key, about 70 miles south of Tampa. The situation in Tampa area was still a major emergency as St. Petersburg recorded over 16 inches of rain, prompting the National Weather Service to warn of flash flooding there as well as other parts of western and central Florida. As dawn broke Thursday, officials repeated the danger had not passed. Storm surge remained a concern in many parts of Florida, and tropical storm warnings were in place for much of the east central coast. Officials in the hard-hit counties of Hillsborough, Pinellas, Sarasota, and Lee urged people to stay home, warning of downpour lines, trees and roads, block bridges, and flooding. The storm knocked out power across a large section of Florida, with more than 3.2 million homes and businesses without electricity, according to PowerOutage.us, with Trax Utility reports. Now let's take a look at the sports and the weather report. In sports, Jannik Sinner avenged his defeat to Ben Shelton in the 4th round of last year's Shanghai Masters with a 6-4, 7-6 to spoil the 22-year-old American's birthday on Wednesday. Like last year, the duel again featured some incredible shot-making and serving dominance, but this time the 23-year-old Italian prevailed to improve his record against Shelton 2-4-1. Sinner's break in the 9th game was all that separated the duo in the opening set, Both players dominated on their own serve through the second before the Italians sped away in the tie-break and won the last 7 points of the match to advance to his 7th ATP Masters 1000 quarterfinal of the year. He will play 5th-ranked Daniil Medvedev, who earlier beat longtime rival Stefanos in a match where the Greek player launched into a minute-long rant against the chair umpire Fergus Murphy over a violation call and initially refused to continue playing. In more sports, Trinidad and Tobago caretaker manager Derek King wants the team to take the game to Cuba in their 2024-2025 CONCACAF Nations League match on Thursday at Santiago, Cuba. The Soca Warriors are at the bottom of Group B and need a victory against Cuba to stay in League A of the CONCACAF Nations League play. Under King's leadership, the nation's men's senior team lost 4-0 to Honduras and drew 0-0 with French Guyana in the tournament. King emphasized solid defense in his interview with the TTFA media, but also wanted his team to play football. King acknowledged the fitness has been one of the sore points for team management and said injecting more senior players in the team would impact positively on the team. Trinidad and Tobago on Cuba at 4 p.m. on Thursday, with the teams meeting again at the Dwight York Stadium on the 14th of October. And that's all for sport. Now let's take a look at the weather. For the period this afternoon and tonight, Trinidad, Tobago and Grenada, partly cloudy, hazy at times, breezy with a few isolated showers and a medium chance of isolated heavier shower or thunderstorm. Conditions should settle by evening, leading to a mostly fair but hazy night with the isolated shower. Gusty winds and street or flash flooding may occur near heavy showers or thunderstorms. The remainder of the Lesser Antilles, generally fair but hazy and at times breezy with the isolated shower. Last night we had a minimum temperature of 24.5 degrees in Trinidad and 26.2 degrees in Tobago. Our maximum temperature today is 33 degrees in Trinidad and 32 degrees in Tobago. Our seas are moderate, waves are up to 2 meters in open waters and up to 1 meter, occasionally choppy in sheltered areas. Recapping the headlines, 9 gangs are listed at the Pleasantville Secondary School. 11 women rescued, 3 arrested for human trafficking. Commitment to youth development from the government. Autopsies on mom and daughter has been released. Internationally, Hurricane Milton leaves more than 3 million people without power. And that's all for today. Thank you for joining me. I'm Chanaka Phipps. Do have a blessed day.
News from the street. News from the street. 919fm.com.
You are listening to the Street 919 FM. Stay with us for news, interviews, and commentary that shape our democracy. Street 919 FM, the official station that defends the nation.